For today's podcast, we have teamed up with Truesapien. True, what did I hear you say? Truesapien, as in Homo sapien, just like us. Now, Truesapien are a community of everyday athletes. They engage in OCR, running, triathlon, biking, anything that's outdoor adventure. These are people with a desire to reject mediocrity, I can never say that word, and push their boundaries and pursue their potential by engaging in challenging physical activities. The ordinary people unleash their extraordinary. Now, the Truesapien movement was created to provide inspiration, motivation and knowledge to help them on their journey. How do you get involved? Well, the best way is by downloading their recently released app. It gives a great insight into what it's about. It's like a social media platform in its own right, a place to gain and share knowledge, advice and ideas. The app is also a great way to keep in touch with other Truesapiens, what they are doing, and let them know what you're up to. I particularly like the daily motivational quote notifications, as you've seen, because we share these quite a lot. Not your usual soft soaping rubbish, but more original, straight talking quotes that really do strike a chord, especially with me. There are challenges on there, which although few in quantity at present, are due to expand rapidly in the coming weeks. Alternatively, head to their website or follow them on their various social media platforms, which will certainly give a flavour to what they're all about. Now, as we say, go to your iOS or Android system, go to your App Store and search for Truesapien and download it today.
Welcome to the Swift Half, your weekly session of chat from the UKOCR and adventure running scene. Each week, pub landlord Alan and our favourite regular Ian discuss races, runners and anything else that comes to mind. So pull up a pew, pour yourself a drink and join us for the Swift Half.
You're listening to the second most popular podcast for people dedicated to helping Bono find what he's looking for.
Welcome to the Swift Half, my two friends. Ian, how are you first of all?
I'm okay, Alan. How are you on this happy April?
I'm doing absolutely brilliant, thank you very much. I'm running well, I'm training well, but I am not running and training as well as our other guest on today, Will Chung. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really well, thank you very much. I've been a fantastic training block. I have had two personal bests over the past couple of weeks, Liverpool half marathon and then Crew 10K. So yeah, I'm actually floating on air right now. Awesome. And you're good. What's your first OCR of the season? Where are we going? Next week, which is I think why you asked me to come on. Next week I'm at Tough Mudder Finsbury Park, and then I think a week after it's the Conquer Fitness at Oldley Edge, which is my first hybrid style race, which you guys have been talking about.
Ooh, yes, I'm excited. We're going to come back to them shortly. I want to know, what are you drinking though, my friend?
Well, I'm kind of on brand but off brand. I am drinking my coffee out of my Who's Hot UK OCR mug.
I love that. I'm drinking coffee. Just straight up instant coffee. Are we on the latte or cappuccino, choco?
Oh no, just straight up Americano instant coffee. 2 sugars, white.
Cool. Ian, before I ask you what you're drinking, I'm going to tell you something that I had last night. And you inspired me with this. I bought coconut milk and I used chocolate Boom Recovery for my recovery drink. Hot chocolate. It was like Bounty. You were right, Ian. Bounty.
It is the future. Hot chocolate with coconut milk. Listener, if you've never tried it, go out, buy yourself some coconut milk. Go out and buy yourself some hot chocolate. It won't matter which brand. It might matter which brand, but most brands, it'll taste okay.
Oh, it's the future. It's the future. What are you drinking tonight, though, my friend?
Well, before I answer that, listeners do know that we record this usually in the evening, regardless of when they happen to listen to it. Good morning to those of you who are listening at 5 a.m. when this drops on a Friday. Will is drinking coffee late. How?
8 p.m. we on? Just after 8 p.m.
It's not late for coffee, is it? I don't know.
What time are you going to bed? 2 a.m.
No, normally about 11. I might have another coffee just before finishing, but no, I don't know. Coffee and caffeine doesn't seem to bother me so much. I don't know. I'll be up till 2 o'clock now tonight, and then I'll just text you in the morning and go, yeah, actually, you're right. I shouldn't have drank that coffee.
I'm like Will though, Ian. I can drink coffee late at night. It doesn't affect me, but I think that's because I'm probably used to a lot of caffeine. You don't have caffeine at all, do you, Ian?
No, I don't drink caffeine at all, so I'm a very poor subject. But I can only go off the intern who does drink coffee, and once we get past like the 3 p.m. mark, it's a coffee-free zone in our house. It's not really something that we do. It's very much a morning drink. But as for what I'm drinking now, as you know, Alan, as Will knows, I've not been too clever over these past. I miss most of Easter because I wasn't that well. I had some great plans. I was meant to go out to Old School Barbecue Buzz, which, listener, if you're ever in Greater Manchester, go to Old School Barbecue Buzz. You'll thank me later. I was also meant to meet Will and a good friend of ours, Mike, and Charlie as well, also another good friend of ours, at Hickory's in Chester. And I basically slept through Saturday and Sunday. So I've not been well. Oh. So I'm having a different type of beer tonight. I always do this, I always put it up on camera. I am having root beer.
Bundaberg root beer. Is that alcoholic or is it non-alcoholic?
It is non-alcoholic and non-caffeine, most importantly, because did you know in America they put caffeine in some of their root beer?
I didn't know that, no.
I found that out at World's Toughest Mudder about an hour into having waved Will off. I was drinking, it was delicious root beer. I can't remember what it was. I had a 6-pack of it. And all of a sudden, I got a headache. And I was just sitting there going, I've got a headache. This is not good. Will's going to get back soon, and I'll have to watch the intern and Mike do all the hard work while I just sit here. But yeah, I was getting this headache and thinking I wouldn't be able to do my supervisory job. And I looked at the label, caffeine.
Oh, is that what caffeine does to you then? Gives you the headache?
It does, because I've been caffeine-free for so long, I can't drink it without getting a headache now. It's bizarre because that's the part that it impacts your, I won't say your frontal lobes, but I'm sure someone who's an actual doctor will let us know what part of your brain the caffeine interacts with. But yeah, it's very much a stimulant to your brain, and that's why it's so good. Alan, Science Corner's now over. What did you drink, or what are you drinking?
I'm actually just going to open it. I haven't even opened it yet. I've been down and got myself a can of Hobgoblin Ruby, which is actually one of my favourite beers. I like Hobgoblins. I do like the gold, but this is their Ruby. As it says in the tin, it's Ruby. It's red in colour. It's really nice, but I can't drink much of it. If I have 3 cans of this, I get the same headache that you do with a bit of caffeine. Yeah, I think if I drink 3 cans of Ruby Hobgoblin, again, I love it. It's a lovely beer. Hobgoblin's one of my favourite, like all the Witchwood. After 3 cans, I can't see anything, let alone get a headache. What are you like, Will, on beer? Is it like 2 cans or 3 cans for you? Because I've never seen you really drink.
I don't drink because Asians can't drink. You've got what's known as Asian blush. So I don't have the enzyme that breaks down alcohol very quickly. So I can have a few beers, but then I'll go red really, really quickly. So I only drink a few beers, a couple of whiskeys, or rum and coke. But yeah, that's why I don't drink, because I get the hangover through the night. It comes really quickly.
Oh, wow. You'd have liked it at my friend's house the other day, because we had a rum party and he had about 20 different types of rum. It's not for me. I don't do rum. I don't do spirits. But Wendy, my wife, she had a very good night on the rum.
I bet. I'm one of those people though that I'm okay with the Captain Jack, the cheap one. All these nuances and all the different tastes, like with people with flavoured gins and things. Not for me. Just give me an old. Oh no, Captain Morgan's in it. The cheap spiced rum. I'm fine with that.
No, it sounds like Captain Jack Sparrow is Alan's friend from the sounds of it. Yeah, I've never met your pirate friends. I wasn't aware that there was pirates in Barnsley. It's a bit landlocked.
There's a lot of pirates in Barnsley.
Mostly at Barnsley Market, yeah?
Yeah, usually on Barnsley Market doing DVDs.
That's good. Yeah, and to be fair, that is the right place for pirated DVDs. It is Barnsley. Streaming hasn't arrived at Barnsley. You've just upgraded from the VHS. I thought, Alan, I read something today which made me think. Do you ever read something? I think it was on Reddit. We've gone right off tangent. But do you ever read something and it plays on your mind all day?
Quite often. I read it because I love Reddit. And Reddit's now more on social media because whenever you're on Facebook, they fetch more and more stories out. So yeah, I am like that with Reddit at the minute.
Well, do you know an old cassette tape? And younger listeners, ask a parent or grandparent for some of you, I guess.
Or ask Alan.
Yeah, ask Alan. Cassette tapes had an A and a B side, right?
Yes.
What followed the cassette tape?
CD.
So A, B, C, D.
Oh, wow. I never realised that.
Yeah, me neither.
I thought CD was compact disc, but obviously not. They went CD.
It was compact disc, but yeah, it went A, B, C, D. I don't actually know if it was meant like that, but whoever then made mini disc completely messed up. That's maybe why mini disc didn't last. If they called it electronic phonetics with an F, EF, it may have lasted.
A, B, C, D, yeah. Talking about tapes, my very first computer was a ZX80. And I don't know if you remember these, but you used to have a tape deck at the side. So my sister had to borrow her tape deck. So, because she used to be top of the pops people on a Saturday, pausing it so she could have the top 20. I'd have the tape deck so I could play block games on my ZX80. And it used to take 30 minutes to load up the simplest game. It wasn't even as good as Snake. Snake on the Nokia phones. It wasn't as good as that. But it took 30 minutes of on tape.
What's funny is back then, and again, we're going in history corner here, the artwork on the box was 1,000 times better than what you actually got on the computer. Whereas now the artwork on the box is pretty crummy compared to the thing that you see. But yeah, it would be, oh wow, it's American football, amazing. You have this great picture of it looked like the Super Bowl, didn't it? And then you loaded it up and it was 22 blocks which were just fighting each other and you couldn't tell what was what. Actually, it would never load up. You'd get to 25 minutes, you'd have that evil and then it would go.
That was the worst scenario, wasn't it? It stopped loading. Error message.
Oh dear. Should we go on track to some obstacle racing or running or anything related?
This is actually a good segue. This, yeah. We're talking about shopping and things like that. And I've been shopping this weekend into Barnsley, and I was after some clothing, bit of clothing. No, nothing special. On running. So the on cloud running. When did these become fashionable? When did it become fashionable to wear on cloud running gear? Like your Adidas and your Nike and things like that. I've noticed on cloud was in all the top shops.
Question. Yeah. Are we talking about wearing the trainers around, or are we talking about wearing T-shirts or stuff?
Mainly the trainers, but there was also clothing as well. So I went to JD Sports. I was looking for a couple of T-shirts. Went to JD Sports. They've got about 30 or 40 trainers. Yeah, different colours. Ones that I've never even seen before, colour-wise, and then they had a bit of apparel as well. It's become fashionable.
Oh, don't we have a mutual friend who Will introduced us to, who's working for On as we speak in their apparel?
I was about to say it's very much a coincidence, isn't it, that Natasha Chung has gone over to On a couple of months ago, and now you're seeing all this great new apparel being bandied around Barnsley.
I don't think it's Barnsley though, because if you look on some of the websites. I don't want to tell people might get the wrong impression if I tell them where I shop. So I'm very much old school. So I like a brand called Terraces. So there's an online shop called Terraces, and I tend to shop there. They've even got a pair in their shop now, and that's just like this is like, I'm not going to say football hooligans, but football fans wear them. That type of clothing. I don't go to football matches, so it's not me. But I like that type of clothing to. Whereas casual, even they've got them.
I am completely confused at this stage because I have no idea that terraces even exist. Listener, if you still have access to a dial-up, pop on terraces, please, and let me know what kind of claws are on there. just make sure that your mum is out the house so that she doesn't pick up the phone to ruin your lo-fi internet connection. What on earth is terraces?
Would they also sell like Burberry stuff and Kappa and kickers? Is that's what I'm thinking, right?
Stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Retro clothing
and flat caps and whippets.
Oh, I've got a flat cap. I've seen a flat cap today. Should I wear it just for you?
If you really want to, put on your coal miner's gloves as well.
Yeah.
I reckon they sell shell suits as well and patches jeans.
Yeah.
That's a really fetching hat there.
It is. I was worried that it was going to look like some kind of Peaky Blinders ripoff, but he really is. And listen, I'm actually going to describe, we don't often do this, but Alan has had a long podcasting night. He did an interview. He came straight from work and he's wearing a snazzy shirt. He really has dressed up because we've got a guest here. He looks like a proper pub landlord. He's wearing, I don't actually know that there's that many shades of pink, to be fair, Alan, and you seem to have them all on your... Can we take a screenshot of this, by the way? You can take a screenshot later, and please put it on social media, because not only me and Will should be able to see such a glorious shirt, and I'm disappointed you didn't wear that at the awards.
Well, Will's actually waiting until I speak. He's going to have me on gallery in a second, and I'm sure he's got his phone out because I saw him sneaking for it. And he's like, I'm having a picture of this. This is going out there live right now.
I sent it to you guys. I'll let you see if you want to put it on UKOCR or not. I'm sure it will go up there.
We have no problems. Everything goes up there, doesn't it? Talking about everything going on UKOCR, a little bit of tangent. We'll move off shopping, but you sent me the best ever Tough Mudder intern article I have ever seen listing obstacles this week. Will, I had to share it.
I absolutely loved it. Hands down, the best meme they have ever done. I actually did laugh out loud. That takes a lot for me, especially with memes. So and that's why I had to share it with you guys, because I thought, hey, got to share the love with this one.
And not only that, but it was a retro meme perfectly executed, because these kind of memes were going around, I want to say 2018, 2019. I'm not sure if you've come back in fashion, but it still feels kind of fresh. It's been away long enough.
Yeah. I think sometimes Tough Mudder get things spot on at the right time. And this is one of them occasions. You know, things come back, like I say, very retro-y. Things come back. This just seemed to hit the nail for me. Who's got it up? Who's going to read it?
I've got it up. I'm not sure whether it will work well on a podcast, but I'll read it out. So, and this is from Tough Mudder. Top 10 hardest obstacles. 10. There aren't. 9. Any obstacles. 8. In Tough Mudder history. 7. That deserve to be named. 6. The hardest because each obstacle. 5. Is tough and challenging. 4. In their own way. 3. Which make them all very. 2. Unique to different people. 1. Electroshock therapy.
It's still funny even when you read it. I because if you were going to name them as in the worst obstacle ever, electroshock therapy, it's going to be one no matter what.
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree. Electroshock. Although I don't think we've done it for a while, but Shocks on the Rocks wasn't a great one either. Imagine Kiss of Mud, the UK version, i.e. no mud, and lots and lots of rocks, and Electric Eel with no water.
Oh, where was that at?
I can't remember, but it was one of the old classics that they threatened to bring back once.
Oh, I don't remember that one at all.
No, I'm glad I don't remember it.
I was going to say it doesn't sound like a classic to me. I'd hate that.
If they fetch that back, I'm doing the burpees at the side. Oh, that's wrong race, isn't it?
It's even wrong brand. I don't know any brand that makes you do burpees now, except Hyrox.
I know one, but it's an ultra event. It's a farmyard jam backyard ultra event where you get burpees. So, but that went quiet then, didn't it?
Well, I think we were thinking, who the hell does burpees? Oh, no, thank you.
No, it wasn't that. I was trying to think of what to follow it up. And should we stay on the Tough Mudder theme, Alan? Because we just praised the intern, and then they sent out a little bit of an email where there was a bit of a mistake on it.
a little bit of a mistake. So this email, when you read it, and this is on any phone, I guess, it comes up right at the beginning, doesn't it, with a little bit of hype. And it says the first woman to complete the Unholy Grail. Yeah, so the first female to complete the Unholy Grail. And when you open it up, it talks about our good friend Leanne Simmons, but completing the Holy Grail, and we know that she wasn't the first person to complete the Holy Grail.
Not the first lady, because lots of people did the Unholy Grail, we believe. But she did get an amazing accomplishment, which is why we think it is an intern mistake.
Was she the first person to ever complete the Unholy Grail, though? Because I've read the article, and I can't see where it says that in the article.
Honestly, I'm not sure, because there was a time when the Unholy Grail wasn't actually sanctioned by Tough Mudder. The first year that they made ETM a 2-day event, so it was possible to do it. And there were a bunch of crazies, including Chris James, who I believe went and did it the next day. But I don't know if Leanne did it, and I'm not sure if she did do it, whether she was the only lady who did it. I'm not sure. But should we actually talk a little bit about the article, what she did do?
Yes. Oh, am I going there?
Yeah, exactly, Alan.
That was
you're
a right in turn there. Yeah, so we're getting it all messed up tonight. So she did the Holy Grail, which the Holy Grail is, let me get this right, ETM, World's Toughest Mudder, and Will jump in here and help me out, because I know you know this one.
Infinity.
Is it just an infinity? Just a plain old infinity?
It is, but she not only did that, Alan, but she gained the most miles by a female in the Holy Grail series. So all those races, she gained the most miles amongst them for 2022. So she was the female champion of 2022.
Which is an amazing feat.
It really is. And I believe she even did it on her 100th as well. I think she crossing it was her 100th, which is a super duper achievement.
Wow. So did she do WTM? Was that her 100th one at WTM?
I
believe so, yeah.
Yeah, World's Toughest Mudder was 100. Yeah, and she was crowned by Giles, I seem to remember, with the Golden Crown, as you was about to say. She did a couple of the toughest races. So she went to America, I think, once or twice. So not only did she do Europe's Toughest Mudder, she did some of the Americans' Toughest Mudder as well to get that mileage in, as well as 60, was it? I think, Ian, at World's Toughest Mudder. And of course, a crap load of infinities as well.
Yeah, I'm not exactly a very good narrator for World's Toughest Mudder, but I think I exceeded my own expectations when I kicked you out of the tent as the sun was coming up, and that was me then running on empty. God bless Mike Moussard, who was able to drive us all back on probably about 2 to 3 hours worth of sleep. And yeah, if I remember, we got back to the glorious Airbnb with the pool that we never used, but I think we had food. I can't remember what it was. I think I then slept until it was time to go to the airport.
I think that's pretty much right. And that pool was lovely, wasn't it? But I think we only used it to paddle in for like 5 minutes, and that was about it. And that Airbnb, the pool was one of the reasons why we chose that particular Airbnb, but no one used it.
No, I think I used it after I'd done some exercise. Listen, back in the day when I did exercise, and my legs were a little bit warm and that, so it was great to just dip in your feet in, because it wasn't heated, and for some strange reason that part of Florida wasn't hot all the time, which was completely bizarre. But anyway, Alan, so Leanne did a great job, and that was last year. Should we talk about this year? Because we brought on Will from Who's Hot. Why, Alan?
Finsbury Park, and there's going to be some changes. Will, are you ready for it coming up?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Finally, we get some obstacles. Although I did do Winter Nuts, really enjoyed that, but it's bloody cold. So, but no, I'm really looking forward to Finsbury Park. I've just come off an ambassador call, which was Wednesday night with Matt Brook and Tom and Giles. And they've been talking about what's going to come up in the Tough Mudder season. Do you want me to carry on? Give you a few exclusives?
Give us some exclusives. We like exclusives.
Well, I'll start with Finsbury Park first. Although this isn't an exclusive, they are having a pop-up on the Friday night, and it's going to be a Tough Mudder Cross Spartan event for Brewdog, who is their alcohol sponsor or their finisher beer sponsor. So if you guys turn up, or if anyone turns up on the Friday night, you can do a few obstacles there, including the spear throw. That's going to be there on Friday night, and also get a few free beers.
I like it. So is it throw a spear, get a beer?
Something like that. I think you just go and play. I don't know whether it's going to be the actual straw man or whether it's going to be that dong thing that we've seen in America. But yeah, I like that. Throw a spear, get a beer. We should go back to Matt to see if they can do something with that ready for Friday. But I've got the course map here for Finsbury Park. Looks the same. They are talking about a specific obstacle, which they are going to be talking about later on in the week. They kind of called it a mystery obstacle. My own thought, looking at the rest of the obstacles, is probably Tipping Point, which is a really fun obstacle, to be fair. So that's a seesaw. You're crawling through the tube, which seesaws in and out of water. That's really good. Weather's looking fantastic. But for the rest of the season, there's a few bits that they were talking about. Sliding Dirty, which did you guys manage to get to London South at the end? Sliding Dirty, absolutely fantastic slide. I think they said 4 stories up, so almost as tall as Mudderhorn. That is going to be in London South again, but will also make an appearance at Midlands. And what's so special about Midlands?
We've got ETM at Midlands, so are we saying it's going to be at ETM?
Matt has confirmed it will be at ETM, but he said there's going to be some twist to Sliding Dirty at ETM.
Oh, Alan, I know the twist.
Electric going down.
It could be electric going down. They did do that once back in the day, 2019 or 2018, when it was going to be pyramid scheme with a slide on the back of it. You'd go through a electro field. But no, Alan, it's obvious, isn't it? They don't want people to get as high mileage, so you're going to have to climb up it.
like a slipper, like a reverse Everest, but it's going to be slippy.
You see, you're laughing at that, Alan, but I kind of think he's probably right.
Not only that.
ETM then. So ETM, are you thinking for ETM you go reverse?
Yeah, go reverse for ETM, and it's must complete.
You know, that wouldn't surprise me, because I was shocked that when they did Arctic Enema, the ETM last year in reverse. So I did the rumours they were going to do it, and I thought, no, they'll not do Arctic Enema in reverse, but they did. So maybe.
But saying that, now that we said it, it means they're going to go back to the drawing board and find something else. So I'll think of something really lame now, so that they won't do this either. What would be really lame is if they put like some of them little brush things on it as you're going down, which just hit your face, or something like that they've done on, what's it called? The Cage Crawl. Thank you, Will. You knew exactly what I meant there. So yeah, don't do that. Oh, Alan. Oh, should I say this because we won't do it?
If it's really bad, say it, and then they won't do it. I like that.
No, it's really good. I wonder, could they get a Brewdog tanker up the side of? Could you imagine a Sliding Dirty with Punk IPA?
I would just be laid at the bottom. I can't see me moving. That would be my OCR over.
Oh, or a cruel one could be they give you a glass of water or a glass of beer, and you've got to keep it steady. And you know, if it goes past a certain line, you have to do burpees or something at the end.
You know, that would be good, that, because, you know, Spartan used to do that. Well, I think me, you, and Carl did a Spartan in the Midlands once where we filled a bucket up, didn't we, with water, and had to carry it a certain distance. And if you brought it back and it was below the line, you had to do it again, didn't you? Do you remember that?
I can't remember that. All I can remember is Spartan are the bloody bucket carries, never with the bloody rocks, never mind water. So I can't remember that one.
I'm sure I've done one with water, and if it was below the line, you had to.
You haven't been up to Beach Ballistic?
It is Beach Ballistic the same? Did they have a water one?
Mm-hmm. Where they got a hole in the bucket, haven't they?
Oh yeah, they have. Yeah. No, it wasn't Beach Ballistic. It'll come to me by the end of the show where it was.
Anyway, we're going off topic, and I know I can see Ian's forehead going here. So anyway, Ian, I think you should get onto the innovation labs, because you might get a few points or something if you give them some of these ideas.
I can't draw. Know your limits. If you're listening here, go on, and you can steal the ideas. I don't care. Just steal the ideas. Do your little digital thingamajig. Graham Wells, who is a listener to the show, and I think you know the Norm Your Limits guys, just put this particular episode on their radar, please.
So other things that's coming up in the rest of the Tough Mudder season, what they've said is they want to bring the tough back to Tough Mudder. So a lot of the obstacles are now going to be upgraded with different things. The only thing that Matt did kind of suggest is that there's some ledges on Pyramid Scheme and on Mudder Horn, which helps you kind of get up to where you need to go. All the ledges are going, and I think some of the ledges were taken off last year, but it's going to be tougher, definitely on your own, but it's going to be more about teamwork, camaraderie. So they're bringing the tough back into Tough Mudder, make sure it's more of a challenge. A lot of the obstacles are going to be updated. They're bringing out, which I didn't mention before the show, but they're bringing out a new marketing campaign, which I really, really like. And they're going to be calling it Thrived or Survived. So they're going to try and get people to take a before and after photo, and then kind of tell people whether they thrived or survived their encounter with Tough Mudder. So I really, really like that idea, just to get a little bit more content, a little bit more noise, because I still remember my very first Tough Mudder, and I survived. I didn't thrive at all. At that finish line, I was on the floor. I was dying, but I really loved it. And you know what? If there was something like that I've really enjoyed taking part in that one. And then there was just one other thing. I'm just trying to find it. Oh. Sorry, you were about to say something?
I was going to say, I did my 30 whatever Tough Mudder and I survived. So I think it's very, very much on personal. I like this because we often talk about competing and completing, don't we, in OCR? So it's a takeoff of that. So yeah, I quite like that.
I think they're going to miss a trick here with this, Will. Now, I think they should be fed back to them. You know how they have a finisher photo and they have someone doing the finisher photos? I think it'd be great if they had someone doing start photos as well. So before you even go in, and they could get it sponsored just like the finisher photo sponsored, but you've got to start and I like that idea. That would really go down well.
Wait, Alan, you've not raced a lot with Will, have you?
Well, Will takes pictures. I get that. I know Will takes pictures.
Will, I always get a start picture when Will's around, providing a certain Tough Mudder photographer happens to be in the village. I always get a start photo. Will, would you agree?
I think it doesn't really matter which one of the guys are, but we always get a start photo, yes. And a nice selfie with a particular drink as well. But yeah, we're always around for a photo. But Alan, I'm pretty sure that's what they were kind of going to be talking about is maybe there's going to be some form of official photographer around to take your start picture as well as your finisher picture. So a couple more things I just want to very quickly talk about. Finsbury Park, the Saturday is a sellout. He said there's about 8,000 or so over the weekend. Really, really happy and happy with how the numbers are going across the whole of Tough Mudder season. He said that actually it's coming close to pre-pandemic levels. So, someone out there is thriving, and that's absolutely brilliant. But Matt was just really, really happy that numbers are starting to come back. He was talking about Europe, but he wouldn't give us anything more about Europe, so I can't really give you any particular things there. But I think the most exciting part that he talked about, and for others, is that they're going to be bringing world's toughest mudder obstacles to the UK. So they're going to have, he didn't say which ones, but they're going to have a particular world's toughest mudder roadshow. So going to all the main events, where it's Midlands, Northwest, and London West, and all those, they're going to be showcasing some world's toughest mudder obstacles, really to try and get more people out there into America to take part in one of the craziest events in the world.
That's pretty cool. Are they going to be branding them up WTM obstacles as well? I think they probably need to go that far, I believe.
I think they are. They're calling it a World's Toughest Mudder Roadshow, and it is very clear that they want to try and get a few more people over from the UK to do it. So they're showcasing it's not just going to be like a sliding dirty. Oh, here's an obstacle. They're really going to be making more of it that it's a World's Toughest Mudder, and this is what World's Toughest Mudder could be for people that go and take part. So I think there's going, we've talked about World's Toughest Mudder. I know what some of those obstacles are. So I think it's going to be really fun to see what's going to be coming over here and to see what particular challenges that's going to be for people and how they see, that particular different level of upgrade or innovation that they always have at World's Toughest Mudder.
No, I agree. But I know a foolproof way to get more British people there, which would be to hold it in Washington.
Washington, Newcastle, or
Washington, yes. Just near Newcastle.
I was thinking those. You beat me to it there. I was thinking UK, then yes.
Right? Could I just interrupt because we've actually got a guest? I don't often do this, but I was able to go on Facebook and a mutual friend of ours, Mark Spittle, he shared it a few hours ago. But Alan, this is happening in Yorkshire. It has to have happened in Yorkshire because I can't think of anywhere else it's going to happen. And it's happening in Hull, so you might not consider it Yorkshire, I don't know, but I still do. But it's a bottomless crisp party.
I've seen this. This is absolutely hilarious.
So for $12.95 on either Friday the 31st of March, which is sadly gone, or Friday the 28th of April, you can enjoy all the crisps you can eat for 90 minutes for $12.95 in Hull, over 18, unfortunately, from, I think, 7 till 10 p.m. And there's quavers, pom bears, knick-knack, frazzles, hula hoops, discos, wheat crunchies, space raiders, skips, and walkers. And you get bread and butter to make crisp butties.
It's the best ever. I love it.
If it wasn't for the fact that I've got something else on that weekend, as I think a few people have, I'd be saying that we should just do UKOCR social.
You could start off with a starter with scampi knickknacks, yeah? And then you can go on to the main course of bacon frazzles. What sweet they got?
Well, I don't know about sweet. I guess it would be like a quavers or a skips, some kind of lighter crisp.
Oh, quavers, a cheese board on a board.
There we go, cheese board. There we go.
3-course meal, $12.95, and bread and butter included.
Or you could, of course, go to Costco and for about a tenner get more crisps than you would ever get at this place. But anyway,
a lot of carbs.
That is a lot of carbs. But Alan, I do apologise. Have we got any other Tough Mudder news, or should we move on?
I've got no other Tough Mudder news. There's nothing I've seen from Tough Mudder. We've got a bit of Spartan. If you want to go to Spartan while we're at it.
Can do. Will, any other Tough Mudder news?
No, I think that's it for me. I've given you enough. I'm probably going to get told off by Matt on Friday afternoon when this comes out anyway. So
it's okay. We'll disguise your voice. Won't know it's you.
No, I need the points. I might get some points if they know I'm on here. So I need the points.
No, that's true. Actually, Will, while you're on there, can you give your brand, your ambassador code? Do you know it?
I don't know it offhand. No, it's fine. I'm okay.
Are they still doing the silly brand 2654 whatever?
No, it's much shorter. So TMBA 2023 Leon. There you go. That's Leon's code. TMBA 2023 Leon.
Perfect. That'll do.
That's how nice Will is, though, and to give someone else's code out. As an ambassador, that's amazing.
It is, although to be fair, I think it's got more sign-up than probably Tough Mudder at this stage, in terms of, just their regular sign-ups. But anyway, Will's
there's 8,000 Winter Finsbury and 4,000 of Will's friends.
It wouldn't surprise me. Right, okay. Graham shared us some Spartan news, which is that Spartan have put the sprints in Henley and Midlands on the Saturday afternoon. Okay?
Yeah.
So as well as having a sprint on a Sunday, they're also putting some sprints on the Saturday as well. So in theory, if you wanted to do a trifecta, if you could get around the beast quick enough, you could do the sprint, and then you just have to do the super, and you could get home at a reasonable hour.
That sounds good. Travel home on a Sunday afternoon.
It is, but they've not really told many people, which is a bit embarrassing when you think about it. They're just assuming people will go on the website and see it. You know what? I think it's a great idea because it allows people, say, in theory, if you're fit enough, you'll be able to go and do 2 of your trifecta on Saturday.
I like it. I think it's great that they've gone both on Saturday and Sunday. Some people don't want to do the supers and some people don't want to do beasts. They just want to do sprints.
Well, yeah, exactly. Also, if you use Spartan code, Spartan Graham, you get 20% off.
Even bigger bargain.
Perfect. Right, so that's Spartan news. Should we keep with the big brands while we're talking about big brands? Let's move to Hyrox, which has kind of usurped a lot of other OCR places as possibly the third person in the UK when it comes to, I don't know, I don't want to call it adventure racing, but this kind of racing.
Yeah. I think you're quite right. I think it's up there. It's in the top 5.
Yeah, it's probably usurped Rat Race because we used to have, of course, Tough Mudder, Spartan, and Rat Race were the big 3. In America, their big 3 were Spartan, Tough Mudder, and Warrior Dash. So, yeah I'd say Hyrox is now there. Firstly, Alan, they have announced a new partnership It's with Fuel Hub, beg your pardon. Not Fuel Hub, which is something completely different, but Fuel Hub. Don't Google that, people. But Fuel Hub, do Google. They are a meal prep company, so kind of they.
I've tried these.
Have you tried them? What are they like?
It's similar to Huel. A lot of people know Huel, Huel, and these are very, very similar to them, I believe.
Really, I'd be very surprised because the pictures I see is of actual food.
Is this not the same ones that I've used? I thought this was the same as Huel.
No, you might be thinking of Food Spring, which is another one of theirs, which is not exactly like Huel, but it is. But no, Fuel Hub are very similar to, I want to say Hello Fresh, but I think it comes pre-prepared.
Oh, right. Okay. So it's not what I've tried then. So this is where for a set amount of money, subscription-wise, you get your food sent to you.
Yeah, and people can go online and have a look. We got sent some details from the fantastic team over at the Fittest PR, so thank you guys. I asked for a press release and they actually didn't have one for this because I think Fuel Hub were doing most of the promotion, which is fine. But they sent us some talking points. They are now the official meal prep partner of Hyrox UK. Multi-season partnership, so it's running until the end of the 24-25 season, which is good because that's, I think, 3 years, Alan, because we're in the 22-23, yeah. Yep. They'll support Hyrox athletes with their food prep and fuel their training in the lead up to Hyrox races. They offer 40 meals monthly, created and developed by a talented team of expert chefs and nutritionists, or however you say that, to deliver 100% of fresh, high-quality, macro-balanced meals full of hand-selected premium ingredients that pack some serious, powerful flavour. And they aim to make high-quality, tasty and convenient meals fit for health-conscious consumers, sports teams, athletes with an understanding of the impact good food has on your body and mind. And do you want to know the best thing about this, Alan?
Well, I'm looking at the food now, and the food looks absolutely delicious. But what's the best thing?
The best thing, from my point of view, is it's run by an ex-rugby league player.
Who runs it?
It's a Northerner. It is. Let me just get it up. I don't want to get his name wrong. No, it's
Martin
not.
Fire? He was fast.
It wasn't. It's not Martin O'Fire. I think Martin O'Fire's actually gone back to Wigan, actually.
Is he still playing rugby?
No, he's gone as an ambassador. Anyway, we're getting distracted. But James Laithwaite, who was a former Warrington Wolves star.
I haven't heard of him.
He was
good.
He was good.
Expensive.
Yeah, but bear in mind Hyrox's market.
True. I mean, I've done a quick look at prices. 6 meals for £45.
Yeah, but again, it is high quality stuff as well.
I go to Wetherspoons, have 6 meals and 6 pints for £45.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure they'd like the comparison, if I'm honest. But yeah, do think about the market that there is a lot of a lot of people who do high rocks, and they'll probably spend more than that anyway on food for ones, particularly in the London market, for example.
Yeah, when you go to the top end, for 24 meals, it's £180. That's 24 really good. I mean, they look good meals. Don't get me wrong. I am going to say they look really nice meals. That works out about £6 each, if my mathematics is right.
£7.50.
So I wasn't far off. I was doing it in my head, but that's not bad. That I think £7.50 for a good meal in an evening. That's quite reasonable.
No, and I'll give you a comparison, Alan. I went to Marks and Spencer's. I don't often go to Marks and Spencer's, but I went to Marks and Spencer's because I was in Rochdale and I didn't want to walk to Asda. Asda was a long way from where I was. So I went in Marks and Spencer's to do some shopping, and I splurged on some ready meals. And it wasn't even Marks and Spencer's best, just a bog standard ready meal. And I think it was about £4.50.
Yeah.
So, if you compare, I'm sure Marks and Spencer's best is probably £6.50, £7.
Yeah. Like I say, I think when you go to the high end of them, it's not a bad price. I've got to give that. I think it's not a bad price.
Oh, and like I say, it will definitely depend on who you are and that. Will I personally be? Well, I'm from Lancashire, so probably not, and you're from Yorkshire. Maybe we can split one. Let's see, Alan, if they'll sell us a single one and we can split it. But
just split the meal, just one meal.
Just one meal. But for High Rock's predominantly target market of young professionals who go to the gym and think nothing of spending £100 to £200 on a CrossFit membership, it probably is quite a nice fit. So, well done. And you can't say anything bad about him because it's James Laithwaite and he's a former rugby league player. So I may be biased, listener, but it doesn't matter.
Well, I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy to try it out. There's a taster box, four meal taster box, £26 plus post and packing. If you guys want to spend £26, send it over to me. I'm quite happy to try it out and tell you how tasty it was.
Alan, should we have a look at the Patreon?
I think we should do this. Yeah, I think we should send it over. Will's our official taster. Which one's you having, Will?
Oh, there was a surf and turf in there that looked really good. I don't know. Yeah, the surf and turf, just rump steak with Mexican vegetables, Thai green beef with rice noodles. It actually, I mean, I know we talk about it, the price, but those meals, they look absolutely fantastic. They come out anything like those photos, that would be amazing. So also, I guess just to finish off here, there's a 20% discount code off your first one. It's on the website anyway, but First Fuel 20 for 20% off your first order.
Fantastic. And if you have multiple addresses, you can go 20% off for a while. I can see Alan ordering it to all the neighbours and just picking them up.
Well,
I can probably give you a few hints and tips of how to do that. It seems that I had to get rid of those on Food Hub, which is a totally different company.
Alan, before you carry on, can I just clarify to our Patreons, no Patreon money will be spent in this experiment. It will definitely come out of mine and Alan's pocket. Yeah. It'll come out of mine and Alan's pocket. Okay, Alan, carry on.
No, I'm going to say, Will, you order them. I'm sending you £13. Ian's sending you £13. You've gone and tested. We want to know what they're like before we order. You're our official... is it, like kings and queens used to have tasters that tasted their food before?
All right, so I'm like your canary down the mine. Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't think Fuel Hub are going to try and poison us, Alan, if that's what you're insinuating. But anyway, but yeah, we'll send Will some money, and in a few weeks we'll get him back on the show to have a discussion of it. Maybe we bring him on after Alan, after he's done his first. It won't be High Rocks, but after he's done his first Conquer Fitness, to see how they helped him on the day. Perfect. We're doing an experiment.
I like this. Do we have to wear white coats like scientists?
No, you should wear that shirt again. Okay, right. I am aware that we're running out of time, so I'm just going to go through a couple of quick ones. High Rocks London 2-day times are out, Alan. Yeah, do you remember when High Rocks went to 2 days and it was seen as a fantastic thing because great, people will be able to finish at 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Are they still going till midnight?
Well, when did you start your High Rocks? It's probably burnt into your mind at this point.
I think it was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, was it? 3 or Or was it even later? I can't remember. Later, I think, weren't it?
Wasn't yours around about 8 p.m.?
Do you know, the whole day was just one long blur. I think you're right. I think it was quite late. Yes.
Right. Well, Pro Men at London on day one, the first wave is at 20 to 8, and the last wave is at 10 to 9.
You know, even though we say it's late, I've got to admit, I didn't feel like it was that late when I was running.
No, I think you get used to it. I can understand a few people are upset about this, and I can understand why they're upset. They're upset because of the fact that they thought when they were buying a ticket to this, it was going to be a UK event which would finish at a reasonable time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, High Rocks is popular, shall we say, and honestly, they probably could have kept selling tickets to get it so that the 2 days merged.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for labour laws, they probably could have done that.
Labour laws.
The thing I am slightly miffed on behalf of people for is day 2, which is, we should clarify that day 1 is on Sunday, day 2 is Bank Holiday Monday, and the relays, which have traditionally started late, they only start from 7 p.m. onwards, and the last one is going out at 5 to 8. So you're going to get people finishing at, say, 9:30, give or take. You always go quicker on a relay.
Yeah.
And that's long when you've got work the next day.
Yeah. Why aren't they doing it? I don't get why they're not doing it on Saturday and Sunday. Is it just because it's a bank holiday weekend?
Maybe it's bank holiday weekend, maybe it's an unavailability in the venue. But yeah, it wouldn't be too bad if it was the bank holiday Sunday. I do feel quite sorry. I also feel sorry for some of the men who are going out, because some will be starting at 6:30, which again, unless you're local, and here's the thing, we don't know exactly how High Rocks pick times. We're not completely sure. The rumour and the innuendo is they pick it based on what you put as your start time. But I'm not convinced by that, because I picked I'll finish by a sundial option. And I was still at midday when it came to mine. I was in the middle of the pack. So I'm not completely convinced. I would hope that they might look at where people live, and maybe, if someone's in London who is likely to be able to get back, give them a later time. I don't know.
I don't think that's going to happen. That's too much work, though.
Yeah. Maybe it's just random. Maybe it is just random, or some great algorithm like the IG algorithm. Something else, some sad news, Alan. I think this is the first one. We've had a fitness event cancel.
Oh, which one?
Battle Bunker, which was going to be held at Forders Gym the week after the High Rocks World Championships. It is the thing that Hunter was promoting.
Yeah.
So the kind of CrossFit hybrid type thing. They say it's a new sport called Hybricon. I say it's fitness racing. I don't care. It's fitness racing. Yeah, stop trying to claim it's a brand new sport. No, it's not. It's just taking different elements. Anyway, it's like saying that rugby sevens is not rugby.
Oh, it's definitely rugby.
Exactly.
It's a better style of rugby than a lot of other rugby's.
Oh, I do love rugby sevens, but we diverge. Anyway, they had a combine to earn your place in this.
Yeah.
So they had 3 regionals, 2 American, 1 European. You had a combine where you basically had to enter a workout online, like we used to do in COVID times, and like CrossFit Open still does. Yep.
Isn't it like OCR games? Don't you have to do that on OCR games as well?
Yeah, OCR Stars it was called. So similar to that. Unfortunately, there are 36 places.
Yeah.
Alan, take a guess how many Europeans entered.
I'm going to say 36.
14.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think with the benefit of hindsight, they only ran the combine for 1 week.
Yeah.
They didn't do a lot of promotion outside of their own Instagram. So unless you're in the bubble, then it wouldn't have been talked about a lot. They went on Obstacle Racing Media, I think about 3 months ago, so it was easy to forget. They ran it for a week, and they did it during Easter week.
Oh, see, rookie mistakes.
Yeah, they should have done a long... To me, there was no reason why I couldn't have done it through the entirety of April.
Yeah, a month long, get more people do it, and keep on... I'd have been like putting clips of people doing it, as I send them in, having a you know, one of them disclaimers. So when people sign up, you can use their clips, and I would be sending clips of them doing the workouts and things like throughout the whole month.
Yeah, exactly, and they'll learn from it. They're still doing it over in America. You know, will they come back next year? I hope so, but I hope they just learn a few lessons. They could have done with a bit more promotion about it outside, because at the end of the day, Hunter has other brands as well. He himself is a brand. I don't actually recall him promoting it.
Yeah.
Not in the last couple of weeks, but yeah. So that's your fitness racing news. Alan, I think there's a few other things just to cover off.
Yeah, Grand National weekend this week.
It's
coming up. The big race is on. Have you got a sweepstake at work?
We probably will do eventually. Someone's raising money for London Marathon. There'll be one.
Well, this reminded me when I saw it. Race courses or horse racing courses are great places to have races, and I've done it a few. Have you been to any race courses? So I've done Chepstow Stampede, which was a race course, and I have done now the one that was up north. Oh, I'm going to forget Mad March Mare. March Mare. And then there was also one at Wetherby, which I didn't do. Have you done any like race course or anything like that?
I've only done regular races. I've done Aintree 10K, which was where the national is, and that was it was all right actually. It wasn't bad. You didn't do much of it, but that was okay. And the Chester Marathon finishes on the Chester Race Course, which is really a nice way to finish, even though you're regretting life choices. Because the problem with Chester, Alan, is it's got a lovely cathedral. Yeah. Glorious cathedral.
Beautiful cathedral.
Beautiful cathedral. The thing is, when you're running the Chester Marathon and the half marathon, you're looking at it and it's in the sky. And then it dawns on you why it's in the sky.
Go on.
Because you're running uphill. Right at the end.
You don't like running uphill, do you?
No, I don't really like running downhill or flat either, to be fair. But Will, have you done any on a race course?
Yeah, so just going back to Chester, you're right, because I've only done the 10K there, but there's that long hill, and you think that's the end of it because you're almost in Chester into the city, and then there's that short, sharp hill as well, just as you're getting to the cathedral. I've also done Chester on the race course, but I did UKOCR Stampede. That was fun across the race course. And Aintree as well. I've done the 10K there a few times, which is a really nice. If there's no wind, Alan, that's a PB course, and you do finish on the finish straight, don't you, in front of all the stands and stadium. So it's really nice. 2.5K laps, was it, or 5K laps?
5K laps. It was 2 laps.
But nice and flat. But because it's a race course, if there's a bit of a wind, it just goes across the whole of the course because there's nothing there to stop it. But it's really, really nice course.
No, it is, Alan. It's definitely, if you can do the Aintree, and I think it's done by Run Through Races, Will.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you're looking for races, I can always recommend a Run Through. We do some great races, road races. I need to look at the Media City 10K in Salford because I understand that's quite good as well. Will, you've done that one?
Yep, done that. I'm looking to do that one. I think it's in April. May. The first Chase the Sun around Salford Keys, which is really nice. I've done what's the one in London around Queen Elizabeth Park? That's actually a really nice, quite scenic one too. And they've done Chester Zoo 10K. You start and finish in Chester Zoo, and I think they do a similar one in Colchester Zoo where you start and finish in Colchester Zoo. And we've done Alton Towers, haven't we? And where you get your free ticket at Alton Towers. So there's some fantastic road races that they do, definitely.
They do. Alton Towers is as hilly as Chester, unfortunately. So, I will say if I go back to do Alton Towers, I'll probably do 10K. I think the half marathon was just that little bit too much, if that makes sense.
It's 2 laps as well, isn't it? No one wants to do that because you never really realise how undulating Alton Towers is until you have to run it. So I think that the 10K is about right to do that one.
I need to check my diary because it is getting full towards the end of this year. I need to see if I'm still free that weekend, and definitely will do. Alan, I think there was one final piece of news. I know we're going long here, but it's quite an important piece.
It is, yeah. So we have got Insane Terrain Running is back. So this is one of the early doors of OCR. So if we went back to the early 2010s, they were out then. It was one of the first ones I ever did. Very much a fun OCR. They do 5Ks. You can do further because you can do more than one lap. So you can do more than one lap and do 10K. Pretty basic, pretty simple obstacles. Some good ones, though. That's back on the 27th of August. So if you're looking for a race in August, that's one to do. It's in Cambridge, which I think that's quite good. And another one, our good friend Chris Lamb. So I'm going to bring this one up as well. Chris Lamb from Quaker Races, they're doing a colour run on the 12th of August. Now, Chris is known for his fun races and that he puts on and that. So, yeah, that's probably worth going down. So if you're down in Northampton Way in the 12th of August, look up Quaker Races Colour Run.
Oh, Alan, some last bit of news that you didn't get to probably because it came up while you were podcasting earlier. But yep. Team UK News will announce it just in case James happens to miss the press release before Friday. Dean Johnson has been selected captain of Team UK, and Becky Neal is the vice captain, and they are selected for Euros and Worlds this year.
Fantastic. I think they've been chosen by their peers as well, which is a great choice to be captain, isn't it?
They are great choices as well. They absolutely do so much for the sport.
Yeah, yeah. Now, Will, before we go and everything else, I understand that you're back on podcasting for us from next week. Is this right?
I believe so. I didn't know whether we was going to be a bonus section or not. I was going to find out because I know Ian normally asks that question. But yeah, I am back on with my co-presenters, Chris Shipley and Becky Neal, who just talked about, and a special guest. We are going to be talking about the Nuts 3K trial and previewing that race, which is next weekend.
Fantastic.
And Alan, I presume that's your podcast. For me, well, at the moment, it's going to be dead air because I've not actually recorded anything. But don't worry, hopefully next Wednesday, there will be an episode out there. If not, we'll do the best bits of the Swift half. So, yes, listener, I feel your pain. I'll make sure I record between now and then. I will say, though, if you haven't already, listener, go and have a listen to UKHXR Fitness Racing Podcast this week. The reason I say that is even if you don't like high rocks, particularly our guest is Kat Fay, who suffered a stroke in her early 30s. And yeah, just listen. It may help you save someone's life one day. So just give it a listen, even if you don't care about high rock stuff. And I promise you, the first part of it's OCR anyway. We're talking about Spartan for the first 15 minutes. So you'll like it. Go and listen.
Isn't it strange that this week that's just gone, Ian, we've actually had two podcasts with two amazing women that have both had life-threatening illness and they're coming out the other side.
It really is, which probably means we need to talk to each other when we're booking guests.
I think we probably do.
No, I actually think it's a great thing. It wasn't planned, but I think it's really nice that we do have that. And you're obviously talking about Pocket Ninja there, who
Erica Poole, I am.
And her podcast again was amazing. If you're listening to this feed, chances are you've already listened, but if you haven't, go and listen to Erica as well. And Alan, in my research, I had no clue she was from California.
I've spoken to her and I did not realise. I've chatted with her loads of times. I didn't realise.
I'm going to let a secret out here now. I didn't know she was from there. I actually thought she was South African. Is that wrong of me?
No, I
never said of this. I just thought the accent was South African.
No, I can kind of understand that because it's not a California accent per se. It's a California accent that has been, I can't swear on this show, but the B word over the last 20 years. We've kind of, unfortunately, she's had to put up with, well, people like me and you, Alan, talking not proper English, and it's impacted her probably really nice accent. So it probably does now sound a little bit South African or Australian. Sometimes they always get mixed up as well.
Yeah, it does. We've gone through a lot of ladies recently. That's the wrong phrase, so I'll take that back. On podcasts, we've had a lot of ladies on podcasts recently.
We have, and it's great because I love having the diversity because, and again, we're really long at this stage, Alan, but I am going to let people in on a little podcasting secret. It is surprisingly easy to convince a guy to come on the podcast. Will Chung, how are you doing?
I don't think you have to spell podcast when you get the P and your nose is like, it's subliminal messages. Will, and then it's like, ting, I'm here.
Okay. To be fair, it's like a photographer. I can smell a photographer like 2 miles away.
You can smell podcast interview. But no, it is, I've lost the point here, but it is surprisingly easy to get a male guest on, which is great because we need guests.
Yeah.
Ladies can sometimes be, quite rightly so, a little bit more nervous. But as we have developed, I think we're slowly but surely getting the diversity at the correct level, would you say?
I hope so, yeah. I hope so. We get good feedback. I noticed that HXR on Spotify has had 15 5-stars.
Really?
Yes.
I'm giving you the really because I don't have access to Spotify. I have no clue.
Yeah. You've got more than UKOCR has only got 12 5-stars and you've got 15.
So that means that I have at least 15 listeners.
Yeah.
Awesome. And unless people
15 different email addresses, I think.
Yeah, Alan, how many email addresses do you have at ukocr.com? Is it 15?
Funnily enough, I have 14. Will's got one, though.
Will's got one. Oh, dear. Alan, sorry. Should we wrap this up? Because I know we've gone really long and people are going to have I've enjoyed it tonight, but I enjoy it every night. I really do. But, it's nice to have a guest on sometimes.
It certainly is. Will, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you. And listeners will be listening to me again next week, but hopefully I'm not going to be turning too many people off for you guys.
I'm sure we'll probably double our listener count because you're on the show and you share it on your social medias and people follow you. Anyway, I will say it's a goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
And it's a goodbye from me, everyone. Thank you for listening. Take care and we love you all. Bye.